So a year before I moved to Vietnam, I had to turn down an all expenses paid for trip simply because I did not have a passport. And that's the moment I realized that I wasn't free to move around whenever I wanted to. So today I'm breaking down exactly what I did step by step so you don't make the same mistakes that I did. I'm not an expert who's lived in 10 countries. I literally done this one time, but not so much money. So that's why I believe that you can too. So this isn't theory. This is exactly what I did in order with real numbers. So back up. I got offered a modeling opportunity, all-inclusive resort, new country, everything paid for. It seemed perfect. And I had to say no because I didn't have a passport. For me, it was kind of embarrassing. And also at that time, I learned that it wasn't about skill. It wasn't the fact that someone may look better than you. It's the fact that someone opened the door to have that opportunity. I seen my brother go, I seen friends go, and that was the time I learned a really important lesson about opportunity. You can have better skill, you could look better, you could be a better model, or whatever it is. But if you don't create those opportunities, then you will miss out. So I applied for my passport right after. The whole process, apply online, go to the post office, fill out the form. I did all that. Mine took about 2 months, but they told me it could take between 2 to 4 months, depending on how backed up they are. And I want to be clear, I sat on my passport for at least a year before I went anywhere. Once you get it, it doesn't mean you have to use it tomorrow. You're just opening up that door for yourself and the option exists. So the first thing I would say, get your passport and then you'll figure the rest out later. Okay, so step 1, get your passport. Step 2, you have to figure out your income. Before I even thought seriously about leaving America, I had to solve one problem. How can I make money from anywhere? So I solved that problem first. I figured out how to work with my phone or my laptop. No location, no office. I knew I could do this because I started working from home. And honestly, before I solved the problem on how I can make money from anywhere, the first thing I took care of is how can I make money from my own home. I did that for a while and I realized that I still wasn't as free as I wanted to be. Like I couldn't really travel to places I wanted to because at that point in my life I needed to be in one location to make money. And honestly, that just made me feel stuck. And I had to do something about it. That's a big reason that pushed me to leave. Not just wanting income, but realizing income without freedom wasn't the goal that I actually wanted. All right, step number 3, make sure you have some sort of savings or you have a little bit of money set aside for when you move. This could be different depending on the country that you go to, but I left with about $3,000. But keep in mind, I also have money coming in. You also have to think when you move, you sell your belongings, you get money that way. You might get your security deposit back. And these things are going to give you extra cushion for when you actually make that move. Like I said, I kept my existing clients, so money was coming in. But the biggest thing that actually helped me stack up money was cutting expenses. My rent was now cut, my car payment cut, all my TV subscriptions, everything, bills, it's now cut. And that's money that I can put in my pocket. And honestly, that adds up. So this combination right here is the real formula. You want some savings as a cushion, but you also want to be generating income by the time you make that move. $3,000 alone with nothing coming in, that would have been a lot scarier. So just make sure you have a little bit saved and some sort of income or a plan on how you're going to get income before you move. All right, so for step 4, you're going to want to pick your entry and figure out your visa. For Vietnam specifically, I came in on a tourist visa and I applied directly through the visa website. It wasn't complicated. Just make sure you don't go through a third party. Make sure it's the official website because honestly, it's easier. It's the cheapest that I've seen. And you just want to make sure that everything's legit because you don't want any problems with your visa, especially when you're out the country and they send you back. Then you're going to be cutting into your savings and no one wants that. Also, every country's visa rules are different, so you have to look into the country that you're going to make sure that they don't have any special requirements. But this rule is universal. You got to know your visa type and you got to know how long you're allowed to stay before booking anything. All right, step 5, you got your money saved, you got everything right, but you want to make sure that you can actually use your money when you get out here because you don't have a Vietnam bank and you don't want to pay the 2% or 5% fee for using your card every time. In some places, they don't even take cards. So having the right apps for Grab to get around and food in general, that's very, very big and can save you money for when you're actually here. I use a bank called Revolut. They don't pay me. I actually downloaded it when I got out here, but I transfer all my money through Revolut and it seems pretty compatible with everything I use. Some countries may be different, but to my knowledge, it's universal. So you can use them everywhere, but do your research. Now that I gave you those 5 steps, I'm going to talk a little bit about what it actually costs to live comfortably in Vietnam specifically. Now the numbers everyone wants to know, what does it actually cost to live here? Honest answer, you can live comfortably with around $1,000. Nice apartment, transportation, some food, you'll be good. But if you want to really be set, I'll say anywhere between $1,500 to $2,000 and you'll be very comfortable. And this is monthly. I would say this is also another thing you want to look out for. Check the currency to see how much a dollar is worth in that country. Then match that with food, hotel prices, and things like that. That way you can kind of gauge how far your money can go in that country. I also want to bring up healthcare because that's very important. As far as health, I haven't really done any checkups or anything yet, but I plan to. I've been here for about 4 months. I want to get my blood work and just get a checkup in general. So I can't really talk too much about that, but I did hear from a few people that it's $500 to get insurance and it covers everything. So for instance, if anything was to happen to me in Vietnam, if I have that insurance for $500, then it's covered. Other than that, I did go to the dentist. I got a teeth whitening and cleaning for about $70, which is a very good price. It was a professional teeth whitening, and they did a really good job, and I was surprised. So yeah, that was about $70. The teeth cleaning was free. I know in the States, it's probably gonna run you about $150 to $200, sometimes even more. I also got in a little bike accident where I kind of flipped over and flipped off my bike. I was cool. I only scratched my hand, and I think I had a mark like on my arm somewhere. But I went to the pharmacy. They put a little cream on me. I got the little bandages, and it ended up costing me like $7. Everything was cheap and accessible. And honestly, that was my biggest fears going in. But it turns out I had nothing to worry about. So that was a big relief for me. Little incidents like that to get stitched up, it won't cost a lot. God forbid, I want you to stay safe, and I hope nothing happens to you. But if it does, we have to plan for it, and to get stitches or to go see a doctor. So I hear it's not too much. Like I know of a guy, he got in a pretty bad accident. He ended up needing stitches, and he said it cost him like $7-8 to get those stitches. So for Vietnam specifically, if you need help out here or a medical situation happens, then it shouldn't be too much. And honestly, a thing that's big that nobody really talks about, you have to prepare your mind. You have to understand that you're stepping into a different culture, different people, and some things may be better, but some things may not be. For example, going to the gym is a big part of my life, but when I got to Vietnam, it's been hard for me to find a good gym with the same vibe that I got back in the States. I've been out here 4 months and I still haven't found a good gym where I can push myself and actually go as hard as I did back in America. So some things you will have to compromise, but you also gain a lot coming out here too. Just when you're getting ready to make that move, appreciate what you're going through now, appreciate everything that's in America, because honestly, for the most part, you're living good. I know it may be expensive, but there are a lot of good perks about living in America. So to that point, I would just say open your mind to new experiences. Fast about it, pray about it before coming out here. I know that's what I did before moving to Vietnam, and it really helped me, so I think it can help you too. So let's recap. Number 1, get your passport now. Even if you're not leaving soon, you'll never know when you'll have to, so be ready. Number 2, figure out how you can make income from anywhere. Save money and already have money coming in before you even get on the flight. 3, research your visa and apply. Those are the 3 main things that you have to do first. You'll figure all the rest out as you go on. So yeah, guys, to move abroad is really not that difficult. I didn't have a passport. I got a passport. I didn't have a job lined up. I figured out how to get money from anywhere. And I didn't know too much about the visa situation, but it was very simple to figure out. Honestly, if I could do it, you can too. Also, another thing, this is just extra. If you chose a spot and you know where you're going, look up their language. Download the app. I know I use Duolingo, and you can learn like simple phrases, how to say hi, xin chào, or how to say thank you. Come on. And I've noticed from being out here in Vietnam, that goes a long way, and also it makes people smile. So that's another free tip before you go to a different country. At least learn how to say hello, and at least learn how to say thank you. It goes a long way. Let me know if this video helped you out. Let me know if you want a full breakdown of my monthly expenses. Comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what you want to see. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you next video.